Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about somebody that has been buying the dip and buying the dip very aggressively in Bitcoin. But before we get to that, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to like the video. Greatly appreciate that. I'm actually almost up to 215 subscribers, very close, and with a goal to get to 250 hopefully by the end of next month, but we'll see how that goes. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum have both been mostly sideways today. Not a lot of action going on, not a lot of volume. If we check our Bitcoin charts, we can see here that today was really not even at that big of a day. It's kind of more in the middle of the range here for the volume, but something happened very interesting that was announced on Twitter, and I felt like I had to make a video about it. What happened was Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy announced that they had bought another over 12,000 Bitcoin, for an average price of 28,000 per Bitcoin. This is huge because Michael Saylor always buys Bitcoin, sure, but this is an absolutely massive amount of Bitcoin that he was buying. In fact, if you go ahead and take a look at the charts here, you can actually see where most of those buys seem to have come from. We see here at about 28K and this massive green candle right here, and then this candle leading up to it. They're probably buying at around this level right here, and MicroStrategy likely pulled us up out of this kind of depression that Bitcoin went into shortly after it was announced that Coinbase and Binance was being sued by the SEC. So MicroStrategy by themselves have basically pushed the Bitcoin price up all the way into about 29, 30K or so. And then we've seen significant momentum to the upside, and now we're starting to see Bitcoin kind of come back down to earth. So what's going on right now in the Bitcoin price is we're seeing some serious consolidation up here. We are seeing it potentially come back to about that 28.5 or 28.6 level, that support level, and that's kind of what I would expect because we had many buyers step in here, and those buyers are now kind of getting exhausted. We're starting to see a little bit of the momentum die down. And this is part of a healthy cycle for Bitcoin. As I said before, I did expect for us to come down and touch this support and hopefully hold this support. I still expect that for now because it's still the RSI is still rather high at about 64. So I kind of expect that we're going to wind up getting a little bit more weakness before we hit the next leg up and potentially make a run for that 31,000 level. Now, if we can close above this 31,000 level, like last time we went and we wicked above it, we could not close above it. But if we did, that would put us at the same level as where we were back in June of 2022. So again, turn the clock back an entire year. And that would also put us into some very interesting situations, especially if you go back and take a look at the July and June of 2021. We were kind of hovering around this area right here, and that would put us kind of in a similar situation to the beginning of the last bull market as well, back here in January of 2021. So there's a lot of volume and liquidity at these levels, and that would be very bullish for Bitcoin if it closed above this current resistance level. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that the options that we looked at a couple days ago have changed a little bit. So we're over here at Deribit, and we take a look at Deribit. Max Pain price is the same as what we talked about on our previous video. However, I've noticed an increase in the number of puts. We have seen an increase in the number of puts over the last couple of days. Now, we said previously that we had about 4.6. Now we're seeing at about 4.7 total billion dollars worth of options, and especially when it comes to puts, we had about $1.6 billion worth of puts. Now we have $1.7 billion worth of puts. So this kind of also plays into the idea that we're seeing in the options market that people are trying to drive the Bitcoin price down to this 26,000 level as the max pain price. Now, again, I don't think we're going to get to that level, but if we did get to that level, that would be an area that I'd be interested in adding to. In order to come all the way down here to 26,000, you'd have to break through the support here at 28.96 and then break through support here at about 28 and then you would have to come down here and break through support at 27. Now, there's a lot of support levels, a lot of rungs on the tree you'd have to go hit and then fall through, and I think this would be very unlikely without some kind of black swan event happening in the next couple of days. Now, what's also interesting to note is that if we take a look at our liquidations chart for the total crypto market, it's actually about as large as it's been in about the last 2 weeks. We've seen over $115 million worth of crypto longs destroyed and liquidated in yesterday's trading session. If we take a look at Bitcoin by itself, we can see that Bitcoin, it was at $27 million worth of Bitcoin longs were liquidated, and that's part of the reason why we saw the price move down from about 30,600 to about 30,000. Now, that being said, I want to talk about what to expect from the Bitcoin price in July. So if we take a look at our Bitcoin historical returns, especially, and go to the monthly returns on CoinGlass's website, what we can see here is that July, and it's kind of hard to see, but July is traditionally speaking a good month for Bitcoin. So we can see here that we've had only about three negative total months for Bitcoin in July. So I don't think that we're going to break the mold this time around, but we'll see how things go. But historically speaking, July has been one of the best months for Bitcoin. And especially if we can get a little bit of momentum and we can get that close above 31K, then Bitcoin can really run. And if it was going to happen in any month, I think it's probably going to wind up being July. Now, August is a mixed, mostly kind of month for Bitcoin, with it mostly trending towards the negative. But July is a month in which we can see absolutely massive moves. We've seen moves here of 16%, 18%, 24%, 20%, 17%. So some serious double-digit moves in July, traditionally speaking. And the only exceptions to that seem to be a lot of the bear market months here and some kind of outliers. So July, traditionally, Bitcoin is a very strong performer. Now, I also want to go ahead and point out one of the most important whale wallets that I'm paying attention to right now, which is whale wallet number 3. There has been kind of a shuffling going on with the whale wallets. But this wallet right here was actually created back in about May, and it had a very quick increase of Bitcoin that was deposited. We started off here from about 0 or 0.25 worth of Bitcoin, now up to basically being the number 3 Bitcoin wallet. So this wallet here is worth well over $3.5 billion, and it is the number 3 and the largest private wallet. So I'm paying close attention to what's going on with this wallet. And today we saw a pretty massive increase in the number of Bitcoin in this wallet, over 6,600 Bitcoin added to this wallet. I've tried to do some digging on this wallet. I haven't figured out who it belongs to or what organization, but it's something I'm going to be looking at and something I'll be paying close attention to and seeing what kind of accumulation we have with this wallet. Now I want to go ahead and talk about our Ethereum chart TA. So Ethereum had a really rough day today, and we can see that we had this red candle today. It went all the way through support here at about 1860 and came down here to about 1822, found support and bounced off that level. Ethereum has been a very weak performer in the past couple of days, as most traders have been flocking to Bitcoin instead. If we take a look at our Ethereum dominance, what we're seeing here is that Ethereum dominance is actually on a little bit of a downswing, but overall Ethereum dominance is still on an uptrend. If we go and take a look at in the weekly, what we can see is that it's a strong uptrend going all the way back into about January of 2020 until it hits this resistance point right here. So if this Ethereum dominance continues on this current pattern, we're going to wind up seeing it trying to either break through this resistance, or the long-term uptrend for the past couple of years will be broken. So this is something to watch very closely. And if we compare that to our Bitcoin dominance, we've seen that Bitcoin dominance has absolutely no chill and continues to barrel higher. It's at about 52% right now and has been on a strong uptrend ever since December of last year. So we're starting to see most traders, again, flock to Bitcoin instead of Ethereum, instead of altcoins, and there seems to be a lot of hype surrounding the potential exception of the Bitcoin spot ETFs that they've been talking about with BlackRock and other Grayscale and Wisdom Tree. Those applications, they seem to be driving the price of Bitcoin and the dominance of Bitcoin even higher. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the economic calendar and what's going on tomorrow. We have Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking again for tomorrow. We also have the GDP as well. We're going to get that GDP number, and this is going to be really important because if GDP comes in higher than expected, which is about 1.6, if it comes in higher than expected, then we're going to hopefully wind up getting a little bit of a move to the upside. Now, this is a revision. We'll see how that goes. And hopefully we'll wind up getting a little bit of a bump off that, or we'll see it, the crypto market head to the downside. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know if you guys enjoy this content and what you want to see. Do you want me to talk more about options, or if you want me to talk more about chart TA, or if more about economics? I try to kind of hit a little bit of everything. I can talk more about whales. Definitely interested in hearing about you guys' opinion. Let me know what you guys are doing in this market. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. Have a fantastic day.